I want to know right now, what was the first 2K that you've ever played? And if you could do me one big favor, like the video right now if you want to see NBA 2K25 be one of the best 2Ks of all time. Because with 2K revealing my team this week, and then of course NBA 2K25 around the corner, there's a lot that we got to talk about. We got to talk about locker codes. We got to talk about the auction house, which everybody desperately wants back. You know, we got to talk about the token markets. Basically, we got to go over certain things that 2K needs to add and improve on to make NBA 2K25 one of the best 2Ks of all time, because we desperately need it, especially after the year that we just had. 2K needs to really deliver with everything that we want to see for my team, 2K25, and so on. And you guys can always let me know down below in the comments what you want to see in 2K25. Now, one thing that I want to see is, of course, an updated token markets. I mean, take a look at this right here, guys. We're in the final season, you know, right before a new 2K, and the best thing that you can get is either a basketball for 1 token or a guaranteed 100 overall player, which is not bad, but it's 20 tokens, and on top of that, it's unsellable. So if you get a duplicate, you're kind of, you know, you just got cheesed by 2K. And this is so sad to see because, you know, I asked earlier what was the first 2K that you've ever played, and sometimes people tell me that this was their first 2K. Last year was their first 2K, and it's so sad to hear that, because for those that have been playing 2K for a while, you know exactly how good 2K has been and is capable of being. For example, the token market, these are the players that we used to get. We had Mo Bamba with his friendly female friends. We had Bobo right here. He was not in packs. He was in the token markets. Yes, you heard me correctly, in the token markets. And you can actually like earn these cards. It was crazy. Back in the day, these were the best players that you could get. Even in 2K20, they literally had some of the best cards available. They had plus packs in the token markets. You know, they were updating them every so often, and we were guaranteed to get opals, pink diamonds, and some of these players included at a position: LeBron James, Giannis, Tracy McGrady, Shaq out here, LaMelo Ball, Kevin Durant. And like, you literally compare this to what we have right now, and it's like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, it's so strange because we were getting these updates throughout the year. This wasn't something that 2K added, you know, in August or the final couple weeks of 2K. No, they did this throughout the year. We even had locker codes for tokens. You know, we had certain updates like Carmelo Anthony, had some Melo Jello, favorite color yellow. We had DeRozan. You know, we had some of these players. Obviously, not every single update was amazing, but this came out in May. You know, we had tokens again for locker codes. We had another update with Tim Duncan, Zach LaVine, Embiid, you know, RJ right here, D'Angelo Russell. This was in March again, and just throughout the year, they would update it. This was one of the best ways to make MT back in the day, because you would go into the token market, buy some packs, and sell the players, you know, for MT. And then 2K would just continue updating them, you know, with packs, players. You can see right here. Obviously, eventually they added more Galaxy Opals, but, you know, at first they would add diamonds, amethyst, and some of the stuff they would do at the end of the year was this right here. The limited cards. Michael Jordan and Kobe were so rare. Kobe, you know, there's 1 of 81. I had one. You know, Michael Jordan, 1 of 23. I had one as well. LeBron James also had a limited, you know, version as well. And then Vince Carter was like a token market type of player. And so at the end of this 2K, which was 2K19, my favorite 2K of all time, they actually gave you access to the best players. So you could actually get these with your tokens, and you could actually purchase them, as well as other players like George Mikan and Vince Carter. And it was just crazy to see that 2K could actually do this, because 2K19 was the first time they introduced tokens and the token market. So it sucks to see that, you know, years later, instead of improving it and making it better, it's gotten worse. And you could even argue that the token market doesn't even exist. And so obviously the token market needs to come back bigger and better in 2K. I know you can do it. I know you can. So hopefully we see the token market bigger and better. Now, of course, some other stuff that we got to talk about is the unsellable items, because I'm so tired of unsellable cards, guys. Like, this is just ridiculous. For example, let's say, you know, say you have a GOAT card, for example, Dr. J, right? You know, this one right here. You can't even sell him. So what was the point of getting this card if you can't even sell it? And then what makes it even worse this year is the fact that there was no auction house. So why were there unsellable cards? Like, unsellable items, unsellable players, they have to go. The only cards that should be unsellable are like reward cards. For example, my Kobe Bryant's right here. It makes sense that he is unsellable because he was a collection reward. You know, Kobe right here, even though they disrespected him all year. But you can see Kobe unsellable. That one makes sense because you had to lock in the players. You know, you had to make sure you had to go through, you know, what was it? Season 3, I believe it was. It was 'tis the season, yes sir, right here. So, you know, these players being sellable, that's how it should be. And then some of the reward cards obviously being unsellable, that makes sense. But outside of those, like, there's really no reason why there should be unsellable cards, you know what I mean? Like, you should be able to sell the players at any points. That's one of the biggest things that 2K changed in the last couple of years, where they literally made almost half of the stuff you get unsellable, and then the other half, you know, you can't really even sell either. You know what I mean? Like, it's really crazy how far it's gotten, because it used to come to a point where only reward cards were unsellable, and nowadays it feels like everything is unsellable. Like, it's insane, because literally even gold cards, 100 overall players, like, if I wanted to sell these cards, I can't. And speaking of unsellable and sellable players, if only there was a place where we could, you know, sell and buy and trade players. You know, not the player market, the deal of the day is Scalabrini, but maybe, I don't know, let's call it the auction house. Yes, sir. Bring back the auction house, okay? Like, enough is enough, okay? We need the auction house back. Like, it's so crazy to see back in 2K16. Yes, you heard me correctly. 2K16, there used to be filters. You could make, you know, the three-pointer if you wanted to get certain players outside of your filter or within your filter, you would change it, right? Maybe you wanted only players that had 95 or higher three-pointer. Like, you actually had filters back in the day, and we're really throwing it back. You know, we threw it back yesterday. You know, pause right there, but we're throwing it back again. Take a look at this. I used to snipe like crazy. Like, I am a sniper at heart. It's just that I haven't been able to snipe, especially this year because there's no auction house. But also the lack of, you know, upgrades to the auction house. Like, the auction house, just like the token markets, has gotten worse. I just don't understand how things get worse. Look at this. Hey, Snipe God Carlos back at it again. I got that Kobe for 80K basically. And you want to know how much he was going for at the time? Over $500,000. $500,000. I think I ended up selling him for 600, 700K MT. It was wild. And I got him for 78,000 MT. It's crazy. That's how I used to snipe back in the day. You know, TBT, throwing it back for sure today again, like we did yesterday. And then, of course, the auction house just got worse. Like, it got so bad that now there's no auction house. I know, isn't that crazy? Like, look at this refresh. Look at one of my best refreshes. 2K17. Bam, 500 MT for Kawhi. That's mine. Yes, sir. Another 500 MT snipe. Another one. Steph Curry. I got that one too. What do you mean? Snipe God Carlos back at it again. Like, this used to be so, like, this was the most fun I used to have playing 2K. Like, just sniping, getting these players for the low 500 MT. Look at this. I literally made so much MT on this refresh with all these 500 MT cards. I did miss some of them because, like, you know, there's a lot of people that were sniping. Back in the day, I showed everybody how to make MT, you know, how to play the game without spending money. And I still try to do my best, you know, obviously, but now with no auction house, you know, I'm kind of limited, you know what I mean? And so you can see 500 MT snipes everywhere for your boy, man. It was crazy. And it's also sad to see how the auction house has just gotten worse. Like, we used to have refreshes. We used to have, you know, filters where we could actually snipe. And years later, there's no auction house. Like, the auction house didn't even get upgraded, honestly, before they removed it. Like, it just kept getting worse and worse, in my opinion. People could still snipe, obviously, make MT. But the auction house definitely has gotten worse throughout the years. And now there's no auction house. So for 2K25, what do we need? We need the auction house. And speaking of things that need to come back, 2K, bring back events. Like, what happened to events? Like, I understand they have, you know, Christmas events, they got Halloween events, they got the big holidays, but we need to see more events where we can actually get certain players, and the reward cards have to be as good, if not up to par with some of the players that you can get in the packs. Now, obviously, the best players are always going to be available in packs. 2K has been like that since I started playing 2K, so that's nothing new, right? So that really hasn't changed. But the reward cards, I feel like, have gotten a little bit worse, in my opinion. Like, some of the reward cards are not up to par with some of the players you can get in the, you know, pack market through packs and stuff like that. So I feel like events need to come back. For example, you know, this 2K right here, they did a really good job with these collections. Basically, you have to get certain players from locker codes, from agendas, from challenges, and then you ended up getting the event cards, you ended up getting the takeover players, and then you unlocked a really good player. And at the time, for example, Galaxy Yi, he was one of the best power forwards in the game. Same with the other players that you could actually earn thanks to these events. Ray Allen was one of the top shooting guards that you can just earn by playing the game. You didn't have to open packs. You didn't have to go crazy. These type of events, 2K literally said they would be coming back. And they have not come back. It's literally, 2K25 is literally around the corner. And they have not made a return. It's crazy. Like, even Westbrook, one of the best point guards we always get every year, he was free. And if it's free, it's for me, baby. So we need to see events come back, not only for the holidays, but for everything, bro. Like, there should always be something going on every season. And speaking of making things better, I mean, listen. You know what I always say? If it's free, it's for me, right? Locker codes. Now, they did do a pretty good job at the end of this year to give us locker codes, but it needs to be bigger and better, okay? Look at these locker codes that we used to get. We used to get exclusive players from locker codes, for example, Ja Morant. Allen Iverson. Were they the best players? No, but they were fun cards that everybody was able to get through a locker code, and they were exclusively available through locker codes, and they made codes actually like special. You know, we used to get literally a locker code almost daily, every other day. Like, it's so crazy to look back at, you know, some of these locker codes. You know, January 1st, we had a locker code. Then the 4th, we had a locker code. Then we had another locker code the next day, you know, for the super packs. They stopped doing that. You know, they just release super packs now in the pack market without giving us a locker code. You know, when a season starts, they would always drop a locker code, multiple locker codes. Actually, look at this. Multiple locker codes in one day. When's the last time we had that? Like, honestly, I don't even know. Because I think the one time we had like 2 in one day, but one was like exclusive. And then the other one was like limited and stuff like that. So we need to see locker codes be bigger and better, especially with, you know, the potential 2K has with the card arts, you know, for 2K25. I was actually looking at the database, and look at this beautiful Kobe that somebody made. Like, I want to see sort of things like that be available through locker codes. I know Kobe is a big pack seller, but with them not dropping Kobe this year, they got to make them free at some point, right? Same with like LeBron James. He's always going to be in packs, but certain players should be, you know, free locker codes. You know, John Moran and Allen Iverson were 2 of the bigger names that we've had as locker codes. And 2K, you could do the same thing. Like, it doesn't always have to be a LeBron. It doesn't always have to be a Kobe. You know, it could be a Kyrie Irving. They gave us a Kyrie locker code a while back, a couple years ago. You know, a 99 overall Jokic, the Joker over here. Oh my goodness. People are going in with the card arts, you know, for 2K25. Look at this Kevin Durant right here. Look at this. Oh, look at this Steph Curry. Oh, that looks. I wonder how it's gonna look with the gem on the left side, because 2K, I feel like they always change it, you know, certain ways with like the higher tier players. In the beginning, they're very, like, you can tell what they're gonna be, right? But then later on, it's very different. So I do wonder exactly how they're gonna execute that. But one thing that they need to properly execute is, of course, locker codes, because we need to bring back locker codes. Like, they don't always have to be amazing. Like, one pack, one token, you know, bam. Every time you drop packs, locker code. Every time there's an event, locker code. Anytime there's a holiday, locker code. Anytime there's a new season, locker code. Locker code, locker code. We should literally be getting a locker code at least once a day, or at least every few days. These are the locker codes that 2K released at the end, which, you know, are definitely a W. Some of these are still actively available if you still want to use the locker codes. And I just feel like they just, like, look at this one, bro. Westbrook. They celebrated something that happened in the NBA by giving us a Westbrook locker code that evolved all the way to a dark matter. One of the biggest big brain ideas I've ever seen 2K do. And so 2K, I'm just saying, bro, for 2K25, we need better. And they're going to be revealing everything very soon, guys. I gave them basically the whole day. They haven't said anything, so in the next few days, we're going to be getting the MyTeam review and everything like that. And I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. In the meantime, check out the throwback video I did. Also, check out the pack opening. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.